In today's episode of the Platform Presents podcast, I got a very interesting guest here with me today. I'm with Kristen Sager, who is hailing over from Indiegogo. She's the CMO or Chief Marketing Officer over there. So she heads up marketing for the US, Europe, and APAC regions. Brand, lead gen, product marketing, growth marketing, that's her forte. So today we're going to be talking about Indiegogo and how she's thinking about growth for the company. So welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, so maybe give people who are not as familiar with Indiegogo just a quick overview. What is Indiegogo all about in a couple of words?
Sure. So Indiegogo is a crowdfunding platform that unites innovators with early adopters to take their ideas from concept to reality. We generally showcase tech innovations, plus it is the only full life cycle platform for art projects, environmental innovation projects, and social impact campaigns. Generally, campaigners come to Indiegogo for the level of support we provide, as well as our kind of large early adopter audience, and the ecosystem of services and partners we surround them with to maximize the success of both their campaign and their business.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So now tell us a little bit about the people that come to the website. Like who is, exploring those projects, maybe characterize a little bit a typical Indiegogo user for us.
So a typical Indiegogo user we definitely skew more male. I think it's like, over 65% male and the rest is female. They're fairly high income, anywhere from 50K, from 70K to, much, much higher. They are really interested in tech and innovation. Indiegogo has kind of a specialty there, and they're coming to kind of find the latest and greatest. We also have a kind of a secondary kind of group, which is more, I would say, kind of like middle income that is interested in all the other types of categories that we have on the site. But we definitely skew heavy towards people that are looking for the latest and greatest tech.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Now, tell us a little bit, how do they learn about Indiegogo? Like what sort of the client acquisition channels you guys, tap into for those guys, the users to learn about Indiegogo?
Sure. So we have a variety of different channels. We're doing kind of paid ad loops with both. We are doing, like keyword brand search. We're doing advertising on Facebook. We're testing a variety of new channels as well. We have a really robust content marketing program that's bringing in backers, as well as we are investing more in SEO. SEO has kind of been overlooked the last few years, and so there's a lot of work that needs to be done there. But generally, organic drives the highest volume of backers. After that is basically we have share tools on the campaign pages where people share them out to their colleagues and friends. And that's the second largest channel. And the third largest channel is actually coming from the marketing that the campaigners are doing themselves, which I consider a supply-generated growth loop, basically.
Yeah, makes complete sense. Now, let's talk about the innovators they're bringing in those projects. How do they pick up on Indiegogo? Like, what's your, how they discover you guys and find that Indiegogo is the right platform for them?
Sure. So Indiegogo has been around since 2008, and we were one of the first crowdfunding platforms out there. We have very, very high brand recognition, and so clients kind of find us through search. We get a lot of referrals from different advertising agencies that focus on crowdfunding. We also do quite a bit of content marketing and inbound marketing to customers and leads that we are aware of. And as well as we do, we have a really robust kind of customer list that we and lead gen loops that we're using to fuel the sales team.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Now, I'd love to maybe touch on something, and you can tell me if that's not something that the marketing team is already and talking about, but it has been coming up on the podcast quite recently. So I'm going to give it a chance. So are you guys, exploring sort of the cookieless future, because when we're talking about, marketing at scale, is that, thinking about, third-party cookies leaving the browsers end of next year? Is that a topic you guys are already actively exploring? Is that something you're thinking about already? How do you think about that?
We are looking into that. We have done a lot of work with privacy platform called Transcend that is assisting in that area. We, in terms of like how we're managing our paid ads and stuff like that, we've made a change on all of our advertising accounts from the Pixel to Cappy, and that's working well for us. We've made it through kind of the whole iOS 14, Apple, Facebook transition. So at this point, we don't have we've been working, like I said, more on privacy consistently. We just went through this Transcend implementation, and I'm not, to be quite honest, we're doing our 2023 planning, and it's something that we'll be looking at as part of that.
Very cool. I would like to switch gears a little bit and talk with you a little bit about your journey as a marketer, right? We talked a bit about Indiegogo, we talked about the channels and the growth. What I'm curious about is, with all the insights and knowledge out there, and you've been obviously in great companies as a marketing leader prior, where do you personally find high quality information? Like, do you, read blogs? Do you listen to podcasts? Do you meet peer groups? Like, what do you personally find great for, personal education and marketing?
Sure. My favorite educational resource is Reforge. I don't know if you're familiar with them. They're fantastic. I've probably taken, I did the first course they did, and I've taken 4 since then. I think they are the cream of the crop. I also am kind of an avid reader. I read a lot of different marketing books and business books, kind of all the time. That's I'm just like curious by nature. And then in terms of like newsletters, I kind of follow a few of them. I follow, I'm totally blanking on it. Basically the creator economy newsletter that is sent out. I'm completely blanking on the name of the company. I have a couple of like high-end subscription newsletters. I do also read a lot of the tech trades regularly.
Gotcha. Very cool. As we slowly wrapping it up for today, I have some rapid fire questions. Are you ready for those?
Sure.
What is the last book you read?
The last book I read was called Rethink by Adam Grant.
What's the one single thing that your company is focused on the most at the moment?
I would say increasing supply reach. So at Indiegogo, a lot of the business is based on the quality of the supply, right? And so extending and expanding that supply. We are in tech and innovation. We also do have stronger other categories as well, but it's about really extending that supply, that reach to the best, most innovative products that are out there.
If there would be no boundaries in tech and you would have a magic wand, what's the one thing you would fix for your role as a marketer?
Attribution.
It's so funny. It's a lot of people say that on the show. What is it specifically that you would want to fix about attribution? Is there like, which questions are top of mind?
Well, I think for us, attribution, I've been at the company for a year, and the company's been around a long time, and we have some legacy code that we really need. We have a little bit of organizational debt that we need to fix. And so it's more about just getting to, we're not at ground zero, but getting to the next level of attribution. So we have better tracking, and, so that's.
Is it a typical B2B issue where basically everything is direct, or like is that because that's what a lot of people mention in the show?
When I'm talking about, I'm thinking more about backer attribution. That's really where, it's typical with an attribution model. You develop it, it works really well for a while, then we start making changes, and then slowly tech team leaves, and then, then you don't really have a good sense of what is, it's no longer modeling the current reality.
Gotcha. Okay, no, that makes a whole lot of sense. Now, very last question. Let's do a little bit of time travel. Let's go back to the days of UCLA. So you're heading out of formal education into the world of business and growth and marketing. What's the one advice you would give yourself for the journey?
I think the thing that helped me the most along my journey was actually developing a kind of a peer group of people that were in the same industry, or I basically have a group of people that we get on the phone every week for the last 18 years and talk for an hour, and they're all different C-level type people or startup founders. And that has been probably the most helpful thing for my career.
Very cool. Kristen, I really appreciate you joining us today for the Pathwing Presents podcast and shared your wealth of knowledge with the audience. So I want to give you the very last word. If people would be forgetting all that we discussed about Indiegogo, what's the one thing people should remember?
I think that we didn't really talk a lot about our backers, but one thing I just want to get across is that, Indiegogo gives enthusiasts the opportunity to discover and fund and back and learn more about the things that matter most to them. And ultimately, Indiegogo is a mission-driven company that is really trying to bring important ideas to fruition for the world.
Thanks a lot for being a guest on Pathwing Presents.
All right. Thank you so much.